day, students! Kamusta? I hope you're doing fine amidst this pandemic. Anyway, I am your Sir Jorson R. Roda and I am your teacher in Science 7. In this video, we are going to explore another amazing scientific idea. So brace yourselves and get the following materials that you will be needing for today's discussion. Ready na ba kayo? Let's start! Before we delve on to our new topic, let us do first a short recapitulation or review of our previous discussion. And with that, you will be answering the following flashcard questions that I'll be showing to you. You have 5 seconds to read and understand each question and 10 seconds to answer it. The correct answers will be shown immediately afterwards. Let us begin. This refers to a division of the year based on changes in weather, ecology, and the number of daylight hours in a given region. During the day, the sun's rays are most intense at what time of the day? What is the ultimate source of energy of the Earth? Added hours of daylight is one reason why summer is warmer than winter. But there is another reason that's even more important. What is it? Radiation is one way to transfer heat. Some of this heat lost to space due to blank. Great! It seems that you really understood our previous discussion, and with that, let us proceed to our new one. Our topic for today is a space phenomenon that we can witness here on Earth once in a while. But before that, let us take a look at these pictures. What do you think are they doing? That's right. They are playing a hand shadow puppet using a lampshade. I bet you have played this game also, especially during hangouts. Shadow is nothing but a light that cannot pass through an object. When a light source is blocked by an object, a shadow of that object is cast. The shadow will darken the object on which it falls. The distance of the object from the light source affects the size of its shadow. Ibig sabihin, kapag ang isang bagay ay mas malapit sa light source, ang shadow na mabubuo ay mas malaki. Pero kapag ang isang bagay ay mas malayo sa light source, ang anino na mabubuo ay mas maliit. And the occurrence of shadows is an ordinary phenomenon that you experience every day. Now the big question is, how about in space? Are shadows formed there too? If your answer is yes, then you are correct. Shadows can also be formed in space. But how can we tell it if we are here on Earth? Well, have you seen an eclipse? That is a phenomenon when shadows are formed on astronomical objects, wherein a darkening effect is observed. And today, let us explore the wonders and the science behind eclipse. For the most essential learning competency, at the end of this lesson, you are expected to explain how solar and lunar eclipses occur using models. And for the specific learning objectives, at the end of this lesson, you are expected to define solar eclipse and lunar eclipse respectively, and to illustrate using models the position of the Sun, Moon, Earth during a solar and lunar eclipse. The center of the solar system is the Sun and it gives off light. Now as the planets revolve around it, they block the light coming from the Sun and form shadows. Ibig sabihin, habang ang mga planeta ay umiikot sa araw, hinaharangan nito ang liwanag na nagmumula rito na nagiging sanhi ng pagkabuo ng mga anino. Thus, the The planets and even their moons have shadows also. But these shadows are not visible by us since the Earth is very far from other planets. What we can only see is the shadow of the moon and the Earth. We also learned that as the Earth revolves around the Sun, the moon also revolves around it. To this effect, different phenomena happens on Earth, and one of these is the occurrence of eclipses.
There are two types of eclipses. We have the solar eclipse and the lunar eclipse. This figure shows that the moon is in between the Sun and the Earth, which causes the moon to cast a shadow on Earth and blocks our view of the Sun. When this happens, a solar eclipse is formed. In solar eclipse, the moon is aligned between the Sun and the Earth. Nangyayari ang solar eclipse kapag ang buwan or moon ay napapagitnaan ng araw at ng Earth. Because of the moon is smaller than the Earth, the shadow of the moon never covers the Earth completely. Examine the shadow of the moon that falls on Earth. What have you noticed? That's right! The moon's shadow is composed of two sides. We have the umbra and the penumbra. What do you think is the difference between the two? Great! The lighter side of the moon's shadow is called penumbra, while the darker side, which is actually the inner side of the shadow, is called umbra. Ang penumbra ang mas maliwanag na bahagi ng anino ng buwan at ang umbra naman ang mas madilim na bahagi ng anino. When someone is standing within the umbra, the moon blocks the entire sun and a total solar eclipse is viewed. But when somebody is standing within the penumbra, this person views a partial solar eclipse. In this figure, the Earth is in between the Sun and the Moon, and a lunar eclipse happens. In a lunar eclipse, the Earth is aligned between the Sun and the Moon. Sa makatuwid, nangyayari ang lunar eclipse kapag ang Earth ay napapagitnaan ng araw at ng buwan. Lunar eclipse happens during full moon. However, it does not happen every full moon because of the tilting of the moon's orbit. When the entire moon is within the umbra, it will look totally dark and a total lunar eclipse happens. But when the moon passes only through a part of the umbra, a partial lunar eclipse will be observed. Only a part of the moon appears to be dark, while the rest will be lighter.
We have learned before that it takes 1 month for the moon to complete its revolution on Earth. Given this fact, how come we don't experience a monthly eclipse? In reality, it does not occur every month. There are only about 3 solar eclipses and 3 lunar eclipses in a year. Meron lamang tayong 3 solar eclipse at 3 lunar eclipse na nangyayari sa loob ng isang taon. They do not happen every month because the Earth's orbit around the Sun is not the same plane as the Moon's orbit around the Earth. Only when the Moon is crossing the plane of the Earth's orbit, just as it is lining up with the Sun and Earth, will an eclipse occur. Do you understand now how eclipses occur? Great! Now let us try doing this activity. On your science notebook, answer the following guide questions. You have 10 minutes to do this activity. Have fun!
The longest a total solar eclipse can last is 7.5 minutes, and one should never watch a solar eclipse with bare eyes because of the harmful UV rays. Regular sunglasses are not safe to view solar eclipse, and we should use special eclipse glasses. Do you have any questions? Great! Now let us then have a short quiz. Read each question carefully and choose the letter that corresponds to your answer. Number 1. For a solar eclipse to occur, the alignment must be A. Earth, Sun, Moon, B. Moon, Earth, Sun, C. Sun, Moon, Earth, or D. None of these. Number 2. For a lunar eclipse to happen, the alignment must be A. Earth, Sun, Moon, B. Moon, Earth, Sun, C. Sun, Moon, Earth, or D. None of this. Number Number 3. The darkest part of the moon's shadow is called A. Umbra, B. Penumbra, C. Orbit, or D. Axis. 4. There are about how many solar eclipses and lunar eclipses in a year? A. 2, B. 3, C. 4, D. 5. For your assignment, construct a graphic organizer that shows the difference between solar eclipse and lunar eclipse.
Good job, students! I hope you had fun learning about eclipses today. If you still have any question, feel free to send me a message on my social media accounts and I will gladly answer them. Always remember, eat healthy and stay safe. See you in our next class. Bye!